It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. And it comes your way next.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan, that's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl and came really within one quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
Opening play, and Goff wants to pass it. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Goff now looking to throw. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
He'll go right back to St. Brown. No gain on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Throwing again is Goff. He's got right on the short throw. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Now Goff. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 20-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 19. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Goff throwing again. Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense. Charles, he already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan? But it's actually been the opposite. They're giving him a lot of attention, but he's been very creative and savvy in his route running and finding...
And it'll be intercepted. Tyreek Stevenson picks it off. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the latest in a long line of NFL QBs from USC.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
They go here with a former Lion. It's DeAndre Swift. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here's 3rd and 9. Here's Williams. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
2nd and 9. To the air, Williams. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll go play action here with Williams. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Throwing is Williams. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A solid stiff arm. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 49 yards rushing for him on their opening drive of the contest, and it's now 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Swift going to try up the middle. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. DeAndre Swift. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bears take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. So important in this league to capitalize on the other team's mistakes. Here they force the turnover on the opening drive, then come right down and score.
And I would add that it's important to capitalize on other teams' mistakes early. That way, you build confidence for yourself and your team. You start playing a little more freely. And you let the other guys know we're prepared to play.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run right here with Swift. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 7. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper, 17 yards, first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw, Williams. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Bears have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Santos now to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. In motion right, that's Williams. Goff now to throw. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And St. Brown going to have the Lions first down as he'll get this up to the 39.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Goff. Right side to Williams. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. To throw is Goff. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Look at the big fella go. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Sam Laporta, 52 yards. And the Lions are back within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. From the gun, here's Williams. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. To throw, it's Williams. That pass complete to Moore. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll fake the give. Now Williams. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he's got some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 91 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, And one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down.
Did he get the feed down? Yes! Touchdown! DJ Moore. A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Bears are able to add on to that lead.
There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Now the point after try for Santos. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it concludes with a touchdown reception by DJ Moore.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Lions and Jared Goff about ready to take over once more. And after starting the game with 2 INTs, you remember, he got back on the beam with a touchdown pass on their previous drive.
Here's Goff. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
But defensively, they're doing everything they can to protect this early lead after giving up a touchdown on their last drive.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
Gone. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
To the air again. Goff. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
There's Goff. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down in bounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Again, Goff. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the Lions get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Point after here coming up. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bears offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. Going up top. And this one is incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up second and 10.
Looking to throw is Williams.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the Bears punter now. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. This is taken at the 15. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
In the first half, it was the man from USC, Caleb Williams, who put on a solid performance. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Third quarter starts with a run from Swift.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Williams will get this out wide to Odunze.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
113 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, That's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Once again, it's Swift.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the 3rd quarter.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. 3rd and 7 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now 3rd down and 7. Here's Williams.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So on 4th down, Cairo Santos on now for the Bears field goal.
It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. Santos' kick is up and through, and the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And after the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Lions offense and Jared Goff set to take over once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 3rd and short, to give to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And teams have a tough time running the ball as this one has throughout this game. It's so easy to just say, forget it, let's throw the football. But that's exactly why you stay with the running game. Eventually, you stick with it, you make some adjustments, you often find ways to run the ball better as the game goes on.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. Counter play, here's Gibbs.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now Goff. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now it's Goff.
That pass caught. It's Williams.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
Jamison Williams.
27 yards.
And the Lions have cut it back within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bears offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter, despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
To throw, Williams.
He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Here is 3rd down and 4. To the air, Williams. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On the handoff, this is Swift. 121 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Right back to Swift again on second down.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. They're looking at third in the nose of the football.
They'll try and run here with Swift.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
DeAndre Swift,
his second touchdown of the night.
and the Bears will add to their fourth quarter lead. Now, that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Santos now to add the PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. The Lions offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. Now an injured player here, so a stoppage, and that's Jamison Williams who's shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Back to throw, Goff.
Setting up the screen, this is Gibbs.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And off to Gibbs, headed right here.
20! And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there for Detroit. 45 yards on the ground.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Goff now to throw. And he's got his man.
Game again here in the 4th. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Throwing is Williams.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
He's got a man on the crossing route. That's more. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
To throw, it's Williams. A pass complete to Odunze.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards, the final tally.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Pretty good first down play. Keeps them ahead of schedule, as they say.
And ostensibly, they could go right back to it because there are multiple options on this play. Hand it inside, quarterback tucks it and keeps it, quarterback throws the ball downfield. You should be able to react to the defense.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears.
Rome Odunze.
A 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Bears are able to stretch out their lead. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long, and this time that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Lions offense and receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown set to go once more. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Play action. It's Goff.
They'll let this go deep for St. Brown.
That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Over the middle, complete. It's Gibbs. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This is caught.
And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Here we go, 1st and goal.
Now it's Goff. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead is down to a field goal now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And Jahmyr Gibbs finished it all off with a touchdown grab.
.90 ticks to go. Still time, but they need this onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense.
And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down.
And down to the 36-yard line here. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, it would likely put an end to this thing.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he is going to have the Bears first. And that should be the capper.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And they'll indeed take a knee. One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, That's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.